Hi everybody, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Olivia. I am a 20-year-old living in Michigan. I am also a college student. So if you are interested in lifestyle vlogs, school vlogs, all of that fun stuff, I've done a haul and I want to do a few more. So just pretty much everything. If you're interested in all of that, please subscribe to my channel. I would absolutely love to get to know you and love to kind of grow my community on here. So anyways, I'm gonna stop talking about that. For today's video, I thought I would go through 50 gluten-free and dairy-free things that I really enjoy. I do want to say not to stick to just buying this stuff because it does rack up really quickly. I'd like to do a what I eat in a day, not only incorporating these kinds of things, but also showing you kind of ways that I avoid dairy and gluten without having to go out and buy so many foods like that. And I do also want to say that I believe everything is vegan as well. Typically when you go dairy-free, things are just automatically vegan, which makes sense. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Also, I am going to be absolutely terrible about pronouncing half of these. So, for cheese, this is, I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong starting right off the bat. I think it's chow. I don't really know. Chow shredded cheese. So I think the only one I've had of theirs is the mozzarella, and I do really like it. What I do is I'll get noodles and then put vegan butter, which we'll get to that, and spinach, and then their mozzarella, and mix that all together, and it's actually really good. So that is number one, and I'm gonna scooch over just so I can like pop them up here. Number two is also chow. It is the sliced smoked Gouda cheese. This stuff is so good. So I will, typically what I'll do is put gluten-free bread. We'll also get to that. Gluten-free bread and the smoked Gouda cheese, and then it's either turkey or ham, and I'll make kind of like a melt. So I will toast the sides and, you know, all that fun stuff. And I really like it. So that's another one. Next is BioLife shredded cheddar cheese. This is kind of weird because I like it in things so far as a substitute for regular cheese with dairy in it. The thing that's a little different about this one, I don't feel like there's a ton of flavor to it, but like I said, good substitute where you're not really tasting the cheese, but it's just kind of in there for texture. Probably with normal dairy cheese you can taste it, so I don't know. But anyways, those were my cheeses. On to yogurt. So first one I put, this I feel like is a brand that people who even aren't dairy free are really like comfortable with. They just know it, see it often, and that is the Silk brand. So I really like the Silk yogurt, some of the Silk yogurts. The one that I discovered is kind of my favorite, and this is only if it's with something, is the dark chocolate Silk. I really like this one to dip like strawberries into or some other type of fruit. I really like my yogurt with fruit. So yeah, I really like the dark chocolate one. I like my yogurt with fruit in it. I really like to dip strawberries in there. I think it's kind of just a healthier alternative to using actual chocolate. I also really like the Silk vanilla. Those ones you can get in like big containers that I've noticed. And typically with those I'll do like a parfait, so gluten-free granola and fruit. But anyways, next one. So like sometimes when I go up to my parents, they'll have like dairy-free or gluten-free things that they found for me. And my dad found Go-Gurt. So I was super surprised about this one, and I absolutely love Go-Gurt. So yeah, now they make it dairy-free, which I think is awesome. I did try freezing it because sometimes, well, because that's kind of what we used to do growing up. We'd have some in the fridge and some in the freezer, and it's not as good when it freezes. I feel like it loses flavor, and then the texture or like consistency gets kind of weird. So don't recommend freezing it. But other than that, I love them. I seriously could go through a box so quickly. So yeah. And then the last yogurt that I have is the So Delicious Pairings. So what it is, my favorite's the key lime and like graham cracker and white chocolate or something. All dairy-free, all gluten-free. It comes in a container that you dump the graham cracker and white chocolate over onto it. I think one of the hardest things for me to stop eating when I had to switch over, or just when I had finally acknowledged the fact that I really was not feeling good, that it was in my best interest to not be eating dairy anymore, was cream cheese. Bagels and cream cheese. Seriously, my favorite thing. I could eat it every single day of my life. And it took me quite a while to find cream cheese. So the first one that I have listed is the Kite Hill. And that's the first kind that I had tried. It's not bad. It's it almost feels kind of grainy. And that could just be me being a weird texture person, but it's not bad. It is pricier in my opinion. I feel like I'm spending a lot more on that versus the other one that I'm going to tell you about. But it's not bad, and it's a little bit easier to find, especially in Michigan, because Meijer carries Kite Hill. But then the other one is the Tofuti. I'm sorry. I think it's Tofuti or something like that. This brand, as well as like one other one that I'll tell you about, is the closest to tasting like the real deal as you can possibly get. And then sour cream is also that same Tofuti. I'm so sorry. I need to sit lower if I can, because this is killing me. I moved, so if it looks different, it's because my setup is a teeny bit different. With some dairy-free things, I feel like you can only have them if you're mixing them with something as more of like a substitute. Like I probably wouldn't drink a glass of almond milk typically. I typically wouldn't just drink a glass of almond milk like I used to just drink a glass of milk, which now looking back on it is kind of disgusting to me. But this sour cream, I will actually just have like chips, salsa, and sour cream. It's super good. Like I said, this brand is the closest to tasting like normal dairy. Silk almond milk. If you are going to use almond milk, you can cook with it normally, bake with it normally, no difference in my opinion. Make sure that if you're cooking with it, you don't use vanilla or original sweetened. You have to use original unsweetened or your food is going to taste disgusting. Mashed potatoes with sweetened almond milk is the nastiest thing. But that's like a beginner's thing. That was probably one of my first mistakes with dairy. Or with almond milk. The Almond Breeze almond milk, that's a really good brand. That one I feel like is normally cheaper than Silk. I think that's also the brand. I know Meijer carries it. I think Sam's Club might, but I think they carry like the smaller ones. Don't ask me what size they are. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. And then the last one is Silk coconut milk. The reason I had originally got it is I was trying to make like a Starbucks drink at home. The drink did not turn out, so I ended up just drinking the coconut milk. I do like it. It's not good with like cereal or anything. I haven't tried baking with it, but it's not bad. For butter. Butter is something that I use constantly. I use it instead of oil on pans. I use it in recipes. That's basically the only times that I use it. But I'm cooking all the time. Or, yeah. So, very common thing for me to use. I don't feel like it's very expensive. I think almond milk and vegan butter are probably the easiest things to find if you need something dairy-free. With that being said, the first brand is Earth Balance. So they do have a spread, and that's the kind that I'm showing first, is the spread. The whipped is fine. The original is also fine. I don't think that they taste any different from regular butter. Again, I can't really 100% ensure that because I don't really remember what it tastes like. I've got a vague idea of it. And yeah, I've never noticed a difference. A lot of these things too, especially the butter, even my boyfriend uses. We don't get regular butter normally. We just use my butter, and it makes no difference. In fact, it's probably a little bit better for you, but don't quote me on that. And then the next one, also Earth Balance, and it is the sticks of butter. Sticks of butter are obviously nice if you're baking. They don't taste any different than the spread or the whipped kind or whatever. So I really like those. And then the next one, and this was one that I wasn't even aware that they had, but it's a really common brand, and it's the Country Crock butter, but they have plant-based. They have both the spread and the sticks. I've tried both. I like them. Like I said, I don't feel like the butter is really, I mean, obviously I could not make dairy-free butter on my own most likely, but I don't feel like it's that hard to make taste like regular butter. Plus, butter is kind of something that goes into recipes. I mean, I even use it for like my toast and everything, and it's no different, but ice cream. The first brand is So Delicious, and I like their chocolate chip cookie dough. I believe that that's the kind that's gluten-free, the cookie dough. If it's not, I'll put it on the screen that it's not. Dea, this is one of the very few things from that brand that I actually would recommend. So I think that their classic vanilla bean ice cream bars are so good. They also have some that come with caramel in them, and I do really like them. The only thing that's a little bit difficult, and I don't know if it's because it's dairy-free, they are a mess. Like, to me, more, I think they're just softer than normal ice cream and normal chocolate. I'm not sure why. So I'm not super sure why it is that way. I'm not sure if normal ice cream is typically any other way. To me, I just feel like it's messier, but worth it. Also, it is definitely on the pricier side. I think you only get 4 in it, and I think it's like, I don't even know if I want to guess because I'd probably be wrong. I think it's like $6, maybe more than that. Expensive. It's expensive. Next thing, and this I was so excited about. Father's Day, my mom and I went in to get my dad an ice cream cake, and there were dairy-free dilly bars in a box. I got a whole box of them. I was so excited. It's pretty much the same thing as the So Delicious brand, their bars, whatever. Anyways, still super good. I feel like they're softer, more of a mess, melt easier, worth it. Last one, and these ones are not gluten-free. I cannot have them anymore, but if you are only dairy-free or vegan, eat these for me because I love them. It is the So Delicious ice cream sandwiches, and seriously, they're amazing. They're pretty expensive again, and they're smaller, but I'm not kidding. I will live through you. I love these things. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about them. They're like normal ice cream bars. Ice cream bars are one of my favorite desserts. So yeah. Next, whipped cream. I only have one that I tried. I know Ready Whip has like coconut whipped cream, I think. This is the Cocoa Whip, and this is also from the So Delicious brand. This I also really like for fruit, as like a fruit dip, because you freeze it. It's different. It's just different. But anyways, yeah, not bad. Still really like it.